Hi everyone, my name is Ajay Wasserman and I'm the founder and CEO of the Fio Group. The Fio Group is a consultancy group with 10 departments and we offer consultancy services to entrepreneurs in various aspects of their business. Today I'm sitting with Herman Moolman, the Head of Department of Learning and Development. So Herman, tell me, what does Learning and Development Department do for entrepreneurs?
Well, AJ, L&D is quite an important aspect of any business. And whether it's a corporate, whether it's an entrepreneur, it literally starts with training. And training is basically the fundamentals of anybody's operational expertise. And one of the things that an entrepreneur needs is initially knowledge to get his business started and to avoid pitfalls. Now, when we present or when we offer training to entrepreneurs, we mainly focus on the fact that they need to know what to do first, what to do second, where do they register their business, how do they tender for contracts, because without that knowledge, they can't go anywhere. So one of the main things that we train them is that, or the different strategies, obviously we will offer classroom training, where you need a venue, where you need a time and a date for them. And then obviously we also do e-learning, where where they're connected, where they can do their training anytime, anywhere, own tempo. And that is one of the main deliveries that we in the Fio Group can offer to
Yeah. So am I right in saying that we build the LMS platform and provide all of that information with the internal structural designs? So if we can elaborate a little bit on that, what do we offer the entrepreneur when it comes to the e-learning platform?
Right. A lot of people do not always recognize or know the fact that they need a platform on which you publish your courses. For instance, I always refer to this as a dance floor. The dance floor is where you can actually do whatever you wish, where you want to dance slow or quick or whatever you do. But that dance floor is what we refer to as the learning management system, which is a platform. Those platforms comes in many formats. There are so many on the market these days. But from our perspective, we can offer our clients the best cost-effective option. Um, Now, what the platform does, it offers the training to the different users. Obviously, when we offer e-learning, the training is available to them any time of the day. Some people like to learn on their own time in the evenings. Some like to do it during the day. So that platform makes sure that they can do that at anytime they wish. They can obviously then work on their own tempo. So what we do is when we have developed a course, we publish it onto that LMS, and then the learner, whether they're sitting in KwaZulu-Natal, in the northern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, or the parts of the Eastern Cape, doesn't matter where they are, they just sign in, they log in, and they can do the course in at their own leisure.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing what technology can do
Absolutely.
nowadays?
I'm an old man and I used to be very wary of technology, but today I know that the value that it adds in any business. And that's some of the stuff that you cannot really avoid. A lot of people, and there's obviously a misconception, and a lot of people think that, technology is expensive and you can't really do without that. But the technology forms the backbone of your training departments these days.
Yeah. So talking about misconceptions, what misconceptions does entrepreneurs have about learning and development and everything around that?
Well, let me start. One is basically my pet hate. Unfortunately, a lot of CEOs and a lot of executives in corporates these days thinks of training as a nice to have, as something that you can do if you have enough budget. But nothing can be farther from the truth. Because in the end, when they don't really perform, they come back to training. If people don't really perform nicely, they come back to training. So that if a training department really does their work well, they make sure that people are skilled, that people are really that they're aware what they do, that they have the knowledge impact, and they also have that skills to perform well and to make sure that they perform better each month. So that's first misconception that I believe. And unfortunately, it is part of a lot of executives have that mindset. But I know that balanced people know that without training, can't do without. Another one that I think is a misconception is that people think that e-learning replaces classroom training. And that is, again, that's very, very wrong to think that. The two complement each other extremely well. You know the concept blended learning, where sometimes you lean over towards classroom facilitation, and the other times you rather work more on e-learning. So when people do e-learning, they can do certain parts of that on their own time. You get this typical classroom training where you have the one dominant figure or the one or two people that ask questions and the typical extroverted types. Then on the opposite hand, you have the introverted people that don't really participate, but they are equally interested in what they do. So they don't participate and they don't really get opportunity. So e-learning provides for them. And research has shown that a majority of people normally are the introverted types in a classroom situation. Yeah. So that's where e-learning can really present to them an opportunity when you use an LMS platform where they can communicate at will in the way that they do, that they prefer. So the two, classroom facilitation and e-learning, really complement each other well. So it's over to a good and well-established L&D department to make sure that that mix is presented to their clients.
And isn't it important to really take care of your employees and train and develop them? I read a quote once, and I think it was a quote from Richard Branson saying that taking care of your employees so that they can take care of your customers at the end of the day. So from our side, what do you think as an entrepreneur, what should an entrepreneur focus on in his business when it comes to learning and development on his employees and for his employees? What do they need?
Okay, again, when an entrepreneur starts, first thing they need is obviously knowledge. And when an L&D department does their part, they can really provide that knowledge from step to step to go from the one level to the next level and in the end to perform as a business. Speaking of Richard Branson, he's also a big advocate of the fact that, and research has also substantiated that when people want to be motivated, the first thing comes to mind is salaries. And fortunately, that's not always true. The biggest thing is when a person feels that they are invested in, not necessarily in monetary value, but in personal value, in asking their opinion, asking them, I want you to contribute to X or to Y, so that they add value to a business. So when a training department does their work well, they make sure that a department, or whether let's say if the L&D department does their part well, it means that they can invest in a person by providing them the skills that are necessary for that person in that time. And obviously, you know the concept CPD, where a person goes from one level to the next. So they keep on developing themselves so that they at least feel that they are growing as a person within the business. So in one hand, what a good L&D department does is they make sure that the person's skills, their knowledge develop, and then secondly, that they can add value to solve problems in the business. So when it comes to an entrepreneur, the biggest skill an entrepreneur has or should have is the ability to solve a problem, to look at a problem, identify probably a niche in the market or an area in the market. How can I solve that problem? And it starts with knowledge. Knowledge that leads to look at a scene or a type of scenario, and where are there gaps, and how can I fill that void?
Yes, great. And from Fire side, we are going to be developing a Fire Academy where we also going to share courses to entrepreneurs out there. And we are looking forward to developing that internally for the launch next year. So what would we focus on from that point of view?
Again, if our target market would be mainly entrepreneurs, I think one should again establish getting your business out there with marketing, good marketing skills, so that people know of them. So when we present our courses, or let's call it our online courses, or even classroom facilitated courses, to connect with those entrepreneurs and make sure that we can present to them something that will add value. Unfortunately, not all people can go to university where they get that trained. Most people in South Africa don't have the money to go to universities. But it's a well-known fact that South Africa is probably the solution in South Africa is to generate more and more entrepreneurs. So the role that Fire can play is to make sure that we have something that can offer knowledge and skills to them in a very quick way, so that we can get them quick started. There are many good ideas out there in the world. So what we can do is then to make sure that they know how to register their businesses, providing them an online course, even a classroom facilitated course. To do that, look out for the pitfalls, as I said earlier, but then also find out how can I really then market my business? How can I get known out there so that I can make money as soon as possible, get my business established? I think that's probably the entrepreneur's biggest challenge. So we can take them from the first start of a phase to, doesn't matter whether it's really still not but tentative, where they can start feeling that I am going somewhere, that I'm really. So that first part, and then marketing aggressively after that so they can expand their business.
That's great. So, if any of these entrepreneurs want to get in contact with us for outsourcing their learning and development solutions to us, how can they get in contact?
That's quite easy, AJ. So anybody who's interested in learning and development in the FIRE group can contact us at www.fire.group or contact us by email by contacting us at info@fire.group.
Thanks, Herman, for this meeting, and thanks for sharing what you've shared from the Learning and Development Department. Guys, please follow us on YouTube and Facebook, for more information on our other departments. Watch out for new videos. Thanks.